Hey guys, Luftinger here as always, and today I'll be giving you guys a short review on some of the newly added vehicles and heroes and generals in the latest Pzkpf build. This was a pure content update which arrived about a week ago alongside few tweaks and patches, including the fix on long-awaited German R75 flip cycle. The build also brought single new pistol, the Nagant revolver, as well as the first ever tier 2 recon vehicle to be introduced to the game, the BA6. However, I'll be focusing on two new light tanks for this video. Starting from the Soviet faction, T70 is a brand new top tier light tank unlocked at the 5th rank of the Armor Assault Ribbon. It was manufactured to replace the T60 light tanks, which was getting obsolete by the time of the war, and more than 8,000 were produced to act as the main workhorse of the Soviet fast armored assault groups. In-game, T70 is actually the very first quote-to-quote armored light vehicle to be introduced for the Soviet faction. T38, T26, BT7, all of them are, I guess, decent tanks, but was never really known for having a good defensive armor. Before Rita brought in the armor rebalancing patch, nerfing the pen value of the machine guns, we could even destroy BT7 with the MG34 mounted on our Kubo wagon. However, the T70 has one of the, if not the best armor in the light tank category. At the thickest part, T70 offers 60mm of armor, and the large sloped armor in the front gives absolute immunity against 2cm autocannons, 37 and 45mm standard AP shells, making her a tough nut to crack. For the offensive armament, the tank is equipped with a 45mm anti-tank cannon, as well as coaxial DT machine gun, which is neither good or bad. It's pretty much the minimum firepower you'd expect from high-tier light tanks in heroes and generals. Combining this moderate firepower with great armor protection and maneuverability, T70 is without a doubt the strongest light armor in the Soviet arsenal, well worth the price and a must for every dedicated Soviet tankers. Next up, the Panzerkampfwagen-II for the Wehrmacht. Luchs, standing for Mountain Cat in German, was the final version of the classic Panzer II series, built mainly for reconnaissance role. Just like the T70, it's unlocked at Armor Assault Rank 5 and is the top tier light tank for the German faction. Now, when Pzkpf was first released on the public server, there were so many people angry, complaining, and disappointed about the looks and the overall nerf with the 2cm autocannons. However, Rito were quick in response with all the cries of the Germans on the forum, and added 50% damage increase to both Ausführung C and L. The top two sales point of the Luchs is its great engine to weight ratio, as well as the highest damage output amongst other light tanks. The vehicle starts slow, but once it reaches its top speed, I believe it goes slightly faster than the T70, much faster than the US Chaffee for sure. It also has a relatively small posture compared to the 38 Czech, allowing to wiggle around and get unstuck in situations you previously had to seek for others to help, or simply F11 to suicide. Although Luchs has the same 2cm cannon, the Kampfwagen Kanone 38 has better fire rate and more piercing power than the 13 on Ausführung C, giving maximum penetration of 60mm with APCR. This gives no chance for the enemy infantry to dismount from their bikes, jeeps, APC, and is extremely useful when denying enemy reinforcements flowing into a capture point. However, the autocannon starts to show its downside against more heavily armored vehicles and ranged targets. At best, APCR can penetrate the front armor of a Stuart tank at medium distance, but anything thicker than that you have to rely on either flanking, ambushing, or aiming for weak spots, which is quite hard to do with the poor accuracy of the cannon. Avoid engaging T70 face-to-face at any range at all costs unless you are absolutely sure that you can aim for the lower glacis. If not, all you'll be doing is wasting money and ammunition. Armor protection of the Luchs is also nothing to be proud of. 30mm in the front will offer some deflection against starter MG tanks, but pretty much anything else will be able to pen and damage you, including PTRD and APCR on aircraft. Talking about the aircraft, the Luchs is one of the best anti-aircraft platform I've used in game. It doesn't have as great of a gun elevation as the German recon vehicle, but if you can connect 7 to 10 shots of APCR, you have no problem dealing with enemy fighters. Overall, I feel that 38T is still the most reliable and versatile light tank for the German faction, considering the fact that the average engagement distance is quite long in Heroes and Generals. But I have to say, Luchs didn't really disappoint me after the hotfix. Granted, I was playing against rookies. I've had one of the best scores playing with this tank, and I'd recommend purchasing it if you are a fan of using the Panzer II Type C before the Pzkpf update. So that's about it for this video. I'll most likely cover the Nagant Revolver and the BA6 in future ones. Until then, hope you guys have a great holiday, and I'll see you guys in the next one.